Welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to come on here real quick and just give a word of encouragement to my sisters out there. I hope we are still enjoying our Black women's rest era. And I know we still have to go to work, we have to take care of kids, our husbands, and do the things. But in between there, I hope that we are giving ourselves some self care. And one of the areas I'm hoping that we're giving ourselves some self care is to control our levels of stress and anxiety. Now, I'm not a therapist or a psychologist, but I encourage you to get one if you need one. Having said that, in this video, I'm going to deal with some of the anxiety or stress or reactions that we may have due to the elimination of DEI or diversity, equity, inclusion within a number of corporations that we've been hearing it out and we've been seeing it on the news. I just want to give you some hope. The first thing I want to say is DEI did not get you, Black woman, that job. I'm going to repeat it again for the people in the back. DEI, Black woman, did not get you that job. And Black men, you can insert Black men. It did not. It did not. And part of what I'm seeing is this reaction to the DEI programs being eliminated. And I'm speaking specifically about jobs. I'm not speaking of retail or none of that. I'm speaking specifically in the workplace. I just want to give you some context, and I will put my sources in the description box below. The number one benefactors of DEI, and let's add on there affirmative action, have been, say it with me, white women. They have been the number one benefactors. In fact, I was recently reading an article, and let me find that article. I believe it was by McKinsey and Company that said that white women disproportionately benefited from DEI efforts and affirmative action. Again, I will put my sources in the description box below. And I just wanted to say this because I'm hearing that some of us in our communities, we feel that because DEI is being eliminated from the corporate world, from government organizations, nonprofits, retail stores, and what have you, as far as it relates to hiring practices, that we're in trouble. Honey, we've been getting jobs. DEI and affirmative action have been on paperwork and it has been a proclamation, but I challenge you to look at the practice of DEI and affirmative action. Take a look at the executive level leadership within your organization. Take a look at senior leadership in your organization or company. I'm going to give you a homework assignment. I want you to just take a look. Just take a look. Don't rely on me. Take a look. Now, those people were in positions while DEI and affirmative action are in the policies, are in the procedures, are on the website, part of the mission statement, part of the vision statement. But is it a part of the practice? That's the question. So we don't need to really concern ourselves with the paperwork per se. I'm asking you to look at the practice. What has been the practice of your company? What is the application? Who is it that you see is mostly represented within your organization? And yes, I mentioned leadership. Who's represented in, let's say, middle management? Who's making the hiring decisions? Are the gatekeepers? What do those people look like? Do they look like you? I guarantee you they don't. And why can I say this so confidently? Because the studies and the research and the statistics do not show that. When I was working on my doctoral dissertation, this was one of the areas I was looking at. And so I did do a lot of studying in that area. And yes, what I spoke of earlier, it was the McKinsey study. And it was the most recent one that said white women disproportionately benefited from corporate DEI efforts. This is a direct quote. Okay. When people think of DEI, there's a particular image that they have. So for some reason, everybody assumes DEI is maybe a lesser qualified person, probably Black, that gets a position that he or she wasn't qualified for. That could not be furthest from the truth. Most of the positions that we get, especially those in leadership and supervision, we are overqualified for. I, for example, was a part of a management team, and I think it was about maybe 20 of us in the region, give or take. 100% of the African Americans on that leadership team had at least a 4-year degree. About 50% of the Hispanics on that management team had a 4-year degree. 0% of the Caucasian or white leaders on that leadership team had a 4-year degree. Some people may see the video and say, oh, that's just an anecdotal example. No, that's reality. That's why I'm asking you to look. When you look at your team, like I did, look at who's occupying the executive levels or the senior levels of that management team. On my team that I was a part of, all of the Caucasian women were in either executive level or senior level leadership positions. And did you hear what I said before? They did not have a college degree. Many of them did not have the same number of years of experience that the Blacks had. And I'm talking about what I know, not what I've made up. When you hear about DEI or when people portray the face of DEI, in fact, one of the articles that I'm using or one of the reports that I'm using, the face is what? She looked like me. She looked like she could be my daughter. That's the face on the cover of the particular report. But what did I say about who the number one benefactor was earlier? So, what does this remind you of? It reminds me of when people say welfare or food stamps. They think of somebody who looked like me. When in reality, most people who get food stamps, welfare, Section 8, and benefit from these social programs, they look like the folks who are trying to get rid of and who have decided to get rid of DEI. And you want to know why they don't realize who's getting these benefits, who's benefiting from all of these different types of programs? Because that's not the picture that's painted. That's why it's so easy to get rid of something until you realize your cousin just lost his job. It's so easy to say, hey, I'm cutting Medicaid, I'm cutting welfare benefits, SNAP benefits, cutting Section 8 until you find out your niece is getting all of that. Then folks want to come on and say A, B, C, and D. Why? Because the picture and the image that's pushed does not match the reality of what's really going on. I'm suggesting that you look at the reality of the situation. We have been making it. You didn't get your job because of DEI. Now, maybe sometimes folks will grab one person that look like us, right? Put them by the door. But most of the time, no. So let me tell you some other people who benefit from DEI before you even get to Black people. So we already said white women. Then we have then we have disabled people, then we have veterans, then we have other minority group, and then we have Black people last. We are the last benefactors of affirmative action and DEI efforts. The last. Keep in mind, many of these programs were started to right the wrongs that were done to the descendants of freemen or those who were formerly enslaved. People who look like me, people who probably look like you. That's who the programs were created for, right? The 1960s equal opportunity, affirmative action, all those things were created for us, not because we weren't qualified, but because even when we were qualified, we were excluded. We couldn't even get in the door. So they had to create these programs to let us get in the door. When I listed the people, disabled people that are benefiting from DEI because of the Americans with Disability Acts, which prohibits discrimination against people with disabilities, I'm not against that. I think that should be policy and in practice. And when I say veterans, veterans may receive preferential hiring in some state and federal agencies. I've seen it as a hiring manager. I had to take that into account. I think that that should happen. Veterans did things for this country that I want to do. So I'm complaining about it. Please don't get it twisted. I honor our veterans. I appreciate their service, and I think we should be doing more for them. But what I am saying to you is this: the people who look like me, we're not the only ones benefiting from DEI. We're not even the ones mostly benefiting from DEI. And with all of these changes going on in the political sphere, and I don't talk about politics on this channel, but I do want to bring it in. If you just look around, who's getting terminated from certain jobs because of a certain person, you'll see that those people don't just look like me. They look like the people that I just named off on this list. So, Black women and my brothers, do not get it twisted. Okay. I want to stop the cap. Black people are not the only ones who benefit from DEI. Even the little we do benefit, we're not the only ones. We're not the only ones. We the ones that did a lot of work for it. We the ones that did a lot of work to make sure that it's being administered and that it exists. We're the ones that walked it out. We did all that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we did it alone. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we did the stuff, but we definitely have not gotten the benefits of what we have put in. Absolutely not. The statistics bear it out. And I don't care what statistics you look at, they do not bear that out. And you may say, well, why did you make this video? I made this video because I want you to know you are going to be fine with or without DEI. Okay? You were fine when it was here and they didn't include you in it, and you're going to be fine when it's not. I did a video called, I think it was called, Does DEI Include Black Women? Look at that video. That'll tell you what I feel about it. And I am talking about facts, lived experience. You are going to be fine. You are fine already. Why? Because if we don't do nothing else, we know how to make a way out of no way, right? We have made it when people have tied our hand behind our back, blindfolded us, and took our tennis shoes. We still ran and still finished, right? We do the thing and we're going to keep doing the thing. So I want you to be encouraged. I want you to get your rest. I want you to get your strength up. I want you to love on yourself. I want you to love on your family, love on your man, your community. I want you to do all that. I want you to vacation. I want you to enjoy your life. Okay? I don't want you to worry about this because we gonna be all right. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Share with somebody who need to hear this. I know a lot of us may need to. I want you to subscribe if you have not subscribed because, hey, we have fun over here. I keep it all the way 100. I want you to give a comment. What you think? How you feeling about the DEI situation? Again, we not putting them down anybody that we say benefited from DEI. We just keeping it all the way 100. I want it to be a buck, and I want folks to stop the DEI cap that Black people benefited most from DEI. Talk soon.